So then guys, the draw has now been done for the Champions League round of 16. Let's do some early predictions for how I think the rest of the Champions League will play out this season. Guys, be sure to do your own predictions down in the comments. I will predict the individual games when it gets round to doing it. But like I say, let's do an early prediction now. Make sure to drop a like on this video. Let's go for 1,900. It takes 2 seconds to hit the like button. And if you're new around here and like your Champions League football, be sure to subscribe as well. We're so close to 92,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your brilliant support. Let's get in to the games. So then guys, as you can see, these are the Champions League fixtures for the round of 16. We've got PSG v Liverpool, Club Brugge v Villa, Real Madrid versus Atlético, PSV v Arsenal, and as you scroll down, you've got Feyenoord, Inter, Bayern v Bayer Leverkusen, Dortmund v Lille, and Benfica versus Barcelona. It does feel to me though we've got a slightly top-heavy Champions League draw here, with these top 4 fixtures being quite a bit more difficult than the other games. That's just my opinion, but feel free to share your own down below. Let's get into predicting them then. And first of all, we've got PSG v Liverpool, which is a really great matchup. PSG were bound to get one of Liverpool or Barcelona, so it was always going to be difficult for them. Liverpool, of course, are top of the Premier League and did win the Champions League phase, finishing top. They haven't exactly been rewarded with an easy fixture. However, over 2 games, I think Liverpool will get the job done. That's my first prediction here. I think Liverpool are going to beat PSG. I think it could be close, and maybe the game at PSG might be a draw, but I think over 2 games, Liverpool will get the job done. But like I say, fair play to PSG. They did dispatch of Brest 10-0 on aggregate in the last round. We move on to game 2 then, which is Club Brugge versus Aston Villa, and I think Villa have done okay here. They've avoided Borussia Dortmund, but let's not underestimate Club Brugge, who did knock out Atalanta in the playoffs. I do think Villa are going to win this. I know Club Brugge beat them, I think it was 1-0 in the last round. I think it was like away from home in the league phase. I think Villa are really putting some focus into the Champions League, and I do fancy them in this game. They've been really impressive, so I think they will win this game and play Liverpool in the quarter-finals. Then we've got the Madrid derby, Real versus Atlético. Now let's not forget, Atlético Madrid did finish ahead of Real Madrid in the Champions League table. However, Real Madrid, I have said this before, they find a way of doing well in this competition. Even when they've not performed amazing, they get quite far, and I think you've got to take them seriously. I think they're going to beat Atlético Madrid. Their history in this competition speaks volumes, so I think they will beat them and get through to the quarters. And then the final game in this side is PSV versus Arsenal, which I think Arsenal will win. I think Arsenal have found themselves some decent fixtures here. They were either going to play PSV or Feyenoord. PSV did do well in the playoffs, of course, but yeah, I think Arsenal will do it over 2 legs. I think they'll just find a way, but I think it could be close, which means we've got Liverpool v Villa in the quarterfinals and Real versus Arsenal. So we're guaranteed that we're going to lose, a couple of English teams on this side of the bracket, and we can only get one make it to the final because they're all on the same side of the draw. For Liverpool versus Villa, they did play quite recently in the Premier League, and it was a 2-2 draw at Villa Park. Villa are putting a lot of attention into the Champions League, and Liverpool, of course, are focusing on winning the Premier League. However, over 2 legs, and that game at Anfield, those European nights under the lights, surely Liverpool are going to get the job done. I think they might. I think I'm going to go for Liverpool, which might not come as a surprise. I think they are one of the favourites to do well in this competition, but I seriously think Villa will give them a good go, especially at Villa Park. But I just think over 2 games, Liverpool might have enough. And then they would play the winners of Real versus Arsenal, which, this is tough, isn't it? This is a real test for Arsenal. Whoever they get in the quarterfinals, it's going to be one of the Madrid teams. I'm not sure, I really do like Arsenal. I think they are capable of winning this game. But Real Madrid, like I say, they always find a way. They always find a way in the Champions League. And I'm going to go for them. I think Real Madrid are going to get the job done. They made Manchester City look amateur I know Arsenal have done that recently to Man City, but I think Arsenal might hit the buffers in this game. But if they win this, this would be a statement that they are serious, that they could win the Champions League. But I'm going for Real to meet Liverpool in the semi-finals. And let's quickly predict this one before we move on to the other side of the draw. Liverpool versus Real, what a matchup. You know, the best team in Champions League history versus the best English team in Champions League history. I just have a feeling Liverpool will do it. I do. I'm going to put Liverpool in the final. I think Liverpool have been so impressive this season. And if they do win the Premier League and the Champions League, what a season from Arne Slot. I'm going with them. I am. Like I say, they've been the most impressive team in the Champions League so far. So I've got Liverpool progressing to the final from this side of the draw. Let's move on to the other side. So then, first of all, we've got Feyenoord versus Inter Milan. Ooh, this is tough, isn't it? This is really tough. It's a big opportunity for both teams, isn't it? Inter Milan were just that bit more impressive in the Champions League phase, but surely there's going to be one or two little surprises along the way. I don't want to be too predictable here. I'm going to say Inter Milan are going to win. I think they'll just sneak through. I think it'll be close. Like I say, we saw Feyenoord performing well in the playoffs. They got past AC Milan, but I think Inter Milan will just have enough. And then we've got Bayern versus Bayer Leverkusen. Oh, this is hard, isn't it? This is really, really hard. Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen. See, I think there's very little to separate them. In the Champions League table, Leverkusen were the better team. However, in the Bundesliga this season, Bayern Munich are doing better than Bayer Leverkusen. They're a few points clear of them at the top. Oh, this is close. I am going to go with Bayern. Sorry, I feel like I'm being quite predictable here. I mean, it would be, in a way, a little bit of a surprise because Bayern are the team that finished in the playoffs and Leverkusen finished in the top 8, but it's not really a surprise if Bayern Munich beat Leverkusen, let's be honest. I think they're going to win this and face Inter in the quarters. Next up, we've got Dortmund versus Lille. Lille did amazing. They finished 7th in the Champions League table, of course. Difficult game, though, against Dortmund. Dortmund just knocked out Sporting. They beat them 3-0 away, and then they did draw with them 0-0, winning 3-0 on aggregate. Could this be a surprise? No, I don't think so. Sorry, I'm going to go with Dortmund. Once again, I do think I'm being fairly predictable here, but I think at this stage of the tournament, muscle memory and teams that have done it at this stage before, they tend to take over. I'm happy to be proven wrong by Lille, but I'm going to go with Dortmund to get through. And then who will they play? Benfica or Barcelona? Benfica were brilliant against Monaco, 4-3 winners on aggregate. We've credited them a lot. Lots of great attacking players and lots of former Premier League players we've seen before, Di Maria, Otamendi. I think Barcelona are going to win though. I just think it's really opening up for them here. Barcelona, for me, are the strongest team in this side of the bracket. So I'm going to go with Barcelona to get Dortmund in the next round. And then it's Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich. I think... No, I'm going to go with Bayern. I was considering Inter, but I think Bayern Munich will get to the semis here. If you're a Bayern Munich fan or a Leverkusen fan, you've really got to fancy your chances. It's really opened up this draw now. It reminds me of the Champions League a couple of years ago when Inter Milan got to the final because a lot of the stronger teams were on the other side of the draw. I think Bayern Munich will get to the semis. And then will they play Dortmund or Barca? I think it's going to be Barca for me. I think Dortmund will get to the quarters, but I don't think they'll get past Barcelona. I think Barcelona, you've got to take them seriously. One of the favourites to win the Champions League, came second in the table, and I reckon they'll get to the semis. And then it would be Bayern versus Barca, and I think Barca win. I think Barcelona get past Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are good, but not always perfect. They've dropped a few clangers. Celtic gave them such a good game in the playoffs. So with that, I think Barcelona have been the more consistent team in the Champions League so far. And I reckon they'll get through, which means we'd have a Liverpool v Barcelona final. And Oh, God, that is a tough one. It's a great final, isn't it? Liverpool v Barcelona. Obviously, I'm English, so I do have a bias towards Liverpool. They are hell-bent on making sure they win the Premier League this season, first of all, because if they win the Premier League this season, they're level with Manchester United on 20 titles each. But can they win a 7th Champions League this season as well? I think they will. I think this is Liverpool's year to possibly do a double. I'm going to go with Liverpool. Not just because they came top of the Champions League table, because there was very little to separate Liverpool and Barcelona at that stage. But I think Liverpool are real winners. They've got a real winner's mentality this season, and I think they're going all the way. So Liverpool are the team I am predicting to win the Champions League in my early Champions League predictions for the knockout stages. And so then, guys, that does wrap up my Champions League predictions for the knockout stages. Like I say, just a quick little video after the draw has been done. Feel free to share your predictions down below. It's okay to disagree. Let's keep things friendly in the comments. Let me know who you think is going to win the lot. Drop a like as well. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Peace out.